Apparently 55...
Hello everyone! I reset the internet, so let's try again. I'm sorry. I should have just said I was gonna reset stuff. I was upset at the time. I'm gonna try again. So hopefully this will go better. If it continues to not work, we might have to really call it a day, but I'm at least gonna try. So I lost a lot of the viewers. That's my fault. I'm very sorry. Let's restart that Hans video since we weren't that far into it.
5 years ago, the moon hoax occurred, and the math checks out. I don't know about the exact date, but I just saw this on Reddit, of all places, of course. And what I thought was interesting...
M. Scheffler with 50 bits says, we're back, baby. Thanks.
And is just not surprising, is how obvious it all is at this point. And it's an example of, there's a, I don't want to say silent majority, but certainly a silenced majority of people who do not agree with the narrative on all sorts of topics. And I think that that's a trap. I think that in general, the idea of chasing a rabbit hole is a trap, and there are some people out
The $10 tip, Bumble Homestead, says it's cold here in Texas and I'm doing hot chocolate about it. Hopefully the infrastructure holds. Hot chocolate is always a good decision.
there that, like, that'll be their one
Yeah, you can get another bingo card and refill it. I'm sorry, that's my fault.
thing. Like, oh, the moon landing's a hoax, and like putting so much investment into like going through every little photograph, looking at crosshairs on photographs, and that, I don't agree with that at all. I think that's a trap and gives it too much credit. In my opinion, a lot of the NASA stuff is really campy and silly and mocking and contradicts physics, contradicts just what I see with my eye. I can use my eyes and look at the moon and see that that's not like a rock that's really far away.
Hans, expert at identifying rocks versus non-rocks from far distances.
That people can go and land on. You can just see that with your eyes. And
Overthought, thanks for gifting 5 tier 1 subs. Thank you so much.
understanding things like the inverse square law, which is a law of physics. And
oh, so you trust that law of physics, just not any of the ones about how, you know, natural satellites exist.
people will come out of the woodwork. The moon is a hologram. Yeah, it really is. The firmament is a dome above us. And I personally believe that the sun and the moon are beyond the firmament. So when I see the sun in the sky and the moon in the sky, I think it's like how video games work. You know how in an open world video game you're running around and the sun comes up, depending on where your player position is. Everything's personal, based off of the observer here. The sun that you...
That's not how video games work. Video games tend to have a skybox that handles all of that stuff. Does he think that they specifically move the sun relative to your location as a character in games?
you see in the sky, it's where it is based off of where you are on the ground. And you're seeing it through the firmament. This stuff, it's all about optics. And that's why you get strange optical illusions of, like, I've seen the moon before where it's like enormous. On the horizon, some wacky things can happen.
Green Guy with a $10 tip says, thanks for coming back. Thank you for coming back, anyone watching. I'm sorry I got frustrated and quit instead of trying to solve the problem. I'm just gonna be honest, I've been having a really hard time lately. So, like, extra stressors aren't helping. Just real stressed out lately. So, thanks for coming back. M. Scheffler with 100 bits says, speaking of worm hats, I'm terrified of snakes, but put little hat on them and they become super cute. How does that work? Hats are cute, apparently.
Happen. And yeah, this stuff just comes down to optics, and when things go really far away, your eye can't see forever. The stars are not infinitely far away, otherwise you couldn't.
They're not infinitely far away, but they are very far away.
See them, because there's this thing called the inverse square law.
Yeah, they're also huge, though. Oh, holy shit. Sassy P with a $200 super chat on YouTube says, paid time off, pay for Hannah. Thank you. I am taking the 1st and 2nd and 3rd of February off because we did that sub goal. I know I owe you guys new costumes too. I'm behind. I'm really sorry.
And anyways, outer space is fake and gay.
Jesus, that's Sassy P. Seriously, thank you. That's an incredibly generous donation.
Hey, that's the point. Who knows what's really going on in the heavens? The Bible is a better explanation. I guess the reason I'm doing this video is because I haven't made a video in a while, and I'm gonna do a video in a couple days or something going over Genesis and talking about how normies get Genesis all wrong. And if you just carefully read through Genesis, you'll have a pretty good understanding of where you live. And it's clear that Genesis is not written as some allegory, like there's a
What do you mean it's clear? It's definitely an allegory.
turtle.
It's definitely a fable. It's a story it's a mythic history. It's meant to explain the state of the world, basically, to ancient peoples.
And something.
Chromatic Cuttlefish with a 10-stream streak says, it's okay, everyone's just doing the best they can, except for raving brain rot cases like Hans. Yeah.
Was riding on the turtleback. No, Genesis is very specific about where we live. And yeah, so stick around. I'm going to do a video on Genesis. Well, let's go through these slides. I've already said a lot. I've already rambled a bunch. I wanted to show the Reddit comments. I wanted to show that this isn't fringe to deny this stuff, even on Reddit.
As we all know, Reddit is the bastion of intellectual superiority on the internet, so you should always trust the Reddit comments. Jesus Christ.
Tons of people. If you sort by controversial, all you got to do is sort by controversial, because
So the least popular, that means he's sorting by the least popular comments.
they try to
Hans found his people, and they're all hated.
silence this opinion. But there's so many people out there that do not believe in the moon landings. That's a good starting point for conspiracy. I gave the warning earlier. I think some people get trapped on this. But it's like, that's like the tip of the iceberg. The whole world's a stage. And yeah, outer space is fake and gay, but it goes so much deeper than that.
Polysaturated Lipids with $7.29 says, may your internet be stable. I hope the blessing helps.
But it's still a good one because it's the lie about where we live. And it's going to be a lie that's very important with end times deception. They're definitely going to fake an alien invasion. I don't think there's any going around that. I think they've painted themselves into a corner with that, and that's what they're planning on doing. So in the very end times, if you know outer space is fake, you're not going to fall for whatever the NWO puts on in the end.
New World Order. Do we have New World Order on the bingo card?
Well, let's go through the comments. I call bullshit in Hollywood. I don't believe you. Allegedly. There was a lot of allegedly. Sure we did. Here we go. Actually, they come up. Hoax moon landing. It was all staged. Or did we? Really? Some people still believe in pregnant birds. That's an expression I've never heard before. Allegedly. And fake. Allegedly. Kubrick. They were downvoting people talking about Kubrick. That's cool to see that. That's just like whether it's true or not, I personally believe that, yeah, Stanley Kubrick is the one who directed the moon landing. And it's cool to just see that kind of common knowledge, common conspiracy knowledge out there.
Buzz Aldrin doesn't seem abused enough to have been working with Kubrick.
And I guess I'll point out that I've met other Christian parents through like Christian stuff that they won't shout it from the rooftops because people don't want to be seen as a wacko. But if you keep your eyes open.
James with a $17.29 super chat says, "Fuck the internet, keep doing God's work." I'm trying to do something.
And keep your ears peeled and see the kind of faces people make at certain times, you'll be able to find people out there that are Christian and do not believe the moon landing and that are open to things like the moon being a light and not like a rock that people can land on.
Hey, Caesar Bishop.
It's always cool to network and find new people. Anyways, there were a lot of video moon directed by Stanley Kubrick. For people who don't believe it, here's some good footage of it. And that was, of course, a Rickroll. Well, that is it for this video. Really, more than anything.
Hans got Rickrolled. That's nice.
This is an advertisement for an upcoming video that I'm just going to read through Genesis 1, talk about how a normie pastor is going to interpret Genesis 1 or talk about things, what they might say, and that's what I want to know. What do pastors learn when they go? Like, pastors must learn that the Bible teaches all sorts of flat earth stuff. So what goes on there where they all go off to their 501c3 and they just evade? It's a lot of just evasion. A lot of they just don't bring stuff up. And this is part of my video I'm going to talk about.
Or they understand that the Bible is largely poetic and like stories with messages. It's not necessarily literal.
Different Bible versions.
Not every Christian is literalist. I wish fewer were.
Using versions that talk about like vault, or they translate the word firmament to like sky, certain things like that. But they must get taught about the firmament in seminary, no? So why have they all just agreed to...
I mean, they probably get taught what it is in terms of what ancient people believed or ancient people used as a metaphor to explain the world around them. That doesn't mean they think it's literally true.
To buy into the ball earth fantasy. They'll reject evolution outright. They'll reject the Big Bang, kind of. Anyway, they just kind of reject they'll say... Anyways, go to that video when I make it in a couple days. Stick around, leave a comment. I miss you guys. Thank you for watching. God bless everyone.
All right, let's look at the bingo card real quick for anyone who got a new bingo card so you can mark off the stuff. I'll read them out. Mountain was a giant tree, Tartaria, weather control, chemtrails, psyop, chemical fear-mongering, doesn't understand their problem is capitalism, you're living in fear, idiot says they're a genius, yells at clouds, accidentally based, vibes-based conspiracy, incorrectly believes evidence is self-evident, flat earth, and finally, recording in car. There you go. I'll leave this up for just a second if you need to look at anything. Oh, I'm getting some viewers back. That's nice. Again, I'm really sorry. I'm sorry I got so upset. That was not okay. I'm sorry I quit so easily. I'm glad I came back. Ancient wisdom for Genesis. That's fair. Yep. Ancient wisdom. All right. We'll give you another 15 seconds or so. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11. Nope. No Illuminati yet. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I don't think Cite's a defunct source. I think Ancient Wisdom fits better for the Bible. Because defunct would imply it was like ever something scientific, and it's like a book of myths. So I would say that more is Ancient Wisdom. Let's see what's next. Oh boy. This is the fool's gold guy and the guy that thinks the dirt is made of people. He found something and then he's going to talk about it. Oh yeah, loud minority thinks they're a silent majority on the bingo card. This is a root. He's pulling out a root. Harold Doubleman says, I asked about Hans because you said something about him having found his people in the comments and it reminded me of this. Oh god, that link opened on the wrong tab. Give me a sec. Let's watch this real quick before we get into that.
I don't think people realize that men are way more likely to leave online comments than women. Like, you probably think about the comment section as some type of neutral forum, when in reality, there's a specific type of person who shows up way more often. That person, first, skews unemployed since they have more time on their hands, but at the same time tends to be more privileged since they're more used to voicing their opinions in public and are therefore more comfortable participating in online discourse. Meanwhile, the same way women in real life are culturally conditioned into speaking up less, women on social media are also socialized into being less likely to engage with virtual discussions. And once you add that to the fact that they have to think more about avoiding online harassment or cyberstalking, what you end up with is a disproportionate percentage of men in the comment section. This is particularly concerning when we treat that comment section as an egalitarian venue for ideas, because studies show that the comments...
Does anyone consider comment sections to be an egalitarian forum for sharing ideas? Because I think that left the station like 20 years ago on the internet. I don't think anyone considers it that.
Affect how you process and understand online content. Over time, you're trained into thinking that the discussions you see reflect a democratic consensus about what's going on, when in reality, there's a bias to who comments in the first place. Like, we also know that angrier people are more likely to comment on social media, which over time...
Root. He's gonna say it's something else, though.
What the fuck is this? This is a dinosaur.
This is
arm.
It's a dinosaur arm.
Oh my god. This is insane. Look at this. His arm's turning the wood.
Yeah.
His arm's like
Oh god, does he have someone with him agreeing? Oh no, it's spreading! Folie à Dieu!
to
Or
wood.
however you pronounce it. I don't speak French.
I think that might be what happens to bones or something.
How is that happening? Holy shit.
I wonder if drugs are involved in this, because before I just thought it was maybe a mental illness thing with this specific guy, but now there's a second person involved, so I guess it's possible they're just both ill in the same way, or in a compatible way, but I'm also kind of wondering if drugs are involved and they're both doing them and being influenced by each other's delusions.
Look at this.
The trees really are our ancestors.
Holy shit, Huge Assel, thanks for $100 tip. We're very close to banning Pissmas. Yay! DKPCB1, thanks for following.
Dude. Oh my lord. Oh my god.
Is he using a crowbar?
So what did I find here, guys?
Okay.
Mark Twain said you can't depend on your eyes if your imagination is out of focus. This was at the very beginning. This is one of the first things I found. I was never an explorer like this, but I had seen a few Mud Fossil University videos, and my intuition told me
Oh no, he's into Roger! That explains a lot! Roger has corrupted this poor man!
to go out and look. Go out and look for yourself. And this is one of the first things I found. And I thought it was a dinosaur bone.
There's
A
somebody else there who actually believes him, apparently.
dinosaur arm. Like I said about the Mark Twain quote, my imagination was
Chicken Bacon Swiss says, that's another issue with the internet. Mentally ill people can find each other and reinforce each other's delusions. Luckily, we don't do that with each other, right, chat? We're all very, very mentally stable.
out of focus. I no longer believe in dinosaurs, so the possibilities of what this could be have grown to definitely include dragons.
Who's Roger? He's the Mud Fossil University guy. He's the guy that thinks big rocks that look like penises are giant penises, and he thinks, like, caves are vaginas of giants.
I'm
We've
not
covered him before.
going to say that this couldn't be a dragon arm or some sort of paw.
Tiny dragon. Woody dragon.
Let's take a closer look at this thing. Is it a branch? Do you see just a branch here? I don't. I think this is metamorphosis. When I began showing people in my life the things I was finding, I wasn't met with the same enthusiasm that I had for these things. The attitude I got from people had the same sentiment, which was basically, that can't exist, science doesn't acknowledge it, therefore you should stop what you're doing because you're going crazy. I couldn't accept that. I just couldn't. When I made a decision, I told myself I would never tell myself that my eyes were lying to me. I was going to trust
Oh, that's terrible. That's a really bad way to go about life. You're gonna get fooled all the time.
what I was seeing and trust my intuition. I've since learned that those very same people are nothing like me. It doesn't matter what the discovery is or how much evidence there is on a topic I bring up, they aren't interested in any of it. None of it. Mom, the buildings, there's no picture of any of them being built in Denver. Does that make sense? Zero interest. So they're not like me. Not like me at all. What does it look like to you? Let me ask, where in our history does this fit in?
It's a root,
I don't think
so comfortably anywhere after trees were a thing.
we know it all, you guys. Because the things I'm going to be presenting on this channel, they can't be neatly wrapped up in a flood story, like so much of everything else I see online. Something happened far more recent. Nothing I bring to you is from the internet. I would encourage you to get out there. We need more people outside. There is so much out there to find. Shortly after I began finding these things, this was about 2 years ago when I found this, and I kept it in a freezer to preserve
M. Scheffler says this guy's near me. Oh no. Probably keep your distance if you see a guy talking about finding dinosaur roots.
it. 2 new people moved into my house, and this piece was in a freezer that nobody used. We have a drink fridge, and it has a little ice box. And let's call her psychopath number 1 decided she wanted to chip the ice out of the ice box. I went to get a drink out of the fridge and saw this thing sitting in the fridge. She took it out of the freezer and put it in the fridge, and it was pretty much
It's a root. It's fine.
ruined at that point. I didn't want to try to refreeze it,
Wait, why? What?
so I just took it out and let it dry out. So here's what it looks like now, all dried out. Tell
Yep.
me, is that a branch?
It's a root.
That looks like an arm or a paw.
Wow, the pareidolia some people have is really incredible.
And a paw. She admitted to chipping out the icebox, but didn't admit to taking this out of the icebox. Right, so how did it end up in the refrigerator? Completely melted. My life's been pretty difficult the past 2 years, but I have no doubt I'm more than the sum of my parts, so
What does he think it is? A dragon arm.
I have no fear. I have a connection to Source, and that's how truth is going to get out into this world, through the most unexpected places. I really believe that. So, again, get out there and look around. I remember growing up when I realized that everything had already been discovered. How sad I felt, because I wish I could have found something. I thought the days of the explorers was long gone. But man, was I wrong. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Please like and subscribe. I also have links in the description if you'd like to support my work. I really do need some help. And as always, keep your eyes
Colorado, and some of my observations lead me to believe that it may very well be the New World Order headquarters. Now, this is all speculation, of course,
That's convenient that it happens to be the town you live in. I'm sure that's not just paranoia.
but I feel that it's justified.
He's definitely going to talk about the airport.
So let's get started. Right off the bat on the state seal, we see the all-seeing eye at the top. We know what that means. We don't have to say too much about that, but let me point out something very interesting. On the bottom of the seal, we see that Colorado was established in 1876. That's exactly 100 years from the time that Adam Weishaupt founded the Order of the Illuminati in 1770.
Wait, did the Twitch stream stop? Okay. Oh, it's back now? Okay. Someone says it's back. Back? Alright, sorry about that. Worried about the internet still. Hopefully that won't keep happening.
76. Now here's the kicker. 1776 is also the year that the design for the Great Seal of the United States with the all-seeing eye on it was submitted by a man named Pierre Eugene du Cimetière. So basically, the Order of the Illuminati and the Great Seal were both created in 1776, both which use the all-seeing eye, and 100 years later, Colorado was established also using the eye on its official seal. And to this day, it's the only state to do so. Underneath the eye is a bundle of sticks with an axe sticking out. This is known as the fascio, and it basically means totalitarianism or authoritarianism. Fascio equals fascism.
Also on the fascio
Is what appears to be XIX, which in the official explanation
I'm pretty sure if this seal was created in 1876 or around then, that's before fascism was even invented as a term. What are you talking about?
just says they are ribbons. So lots of interpretations can be made there. One that I consider is double X or double cross Saturn symbolism, because the seal of Saturn is two X's. And what's crazy is that it easily converts into the Freemasonic square and compass, and even what's known as the Star of David, but also has many other names, such as the Star of Remphan, as I like to call it. But this makes sense when you understand that the elite do in fact worship Saturn, which is the god of 1,000 names. Another interesting aspect is the heavy use of blue and red on the Colorado seal. A lot of researchers attribute the two colors to Saturn, but an easy way to look at it is the dualistic nature of our world and society. Red and blue is Republicans and Democrats.
Red and blue was not considered the colors definitively of the Republicans and Democrats until relatively recently in our history. Like, that wasn't necessarily solidified at the time.
Coke and Pepsi, the illusion of choice. Anyway, the shield with mountains, a pickaxe, and a hammer. I'm not really sure what to make of it, but I'll take a stab at it. The pickaxe and the hammer could represent the designers and builders of Freemasonry known as the architects. The shield itself definitely symbolism of sorts, being
It
that
probably has to do with, I'm assuming, was mining historically a big thing in Colorado? Because those look like mining tools. Or is it just labor? Tools like that have historically been used symbolically to do labor.
they are used for many
Or
logos,
represent labor, rather.
including Warner Brothers and the NFL. But what really comes to mind is the Rothschild family, whose name translates to Red Shield. The Rothschilds are one of the most wealthiest families on Earth, and if you look at the top of the shield here, it's red. Not too certain, but just food for thought. Last but not least, towards the bottom of the seal is the Latin phrase, nil sine numine, which translates to nothing without the deity, and we all know which deity they are talking about, the god of this world, according to the Bible.
Satanic on the bingo card, he's talking about Satan. He thinks everyone in charge is a Satanist. Most people in charge are actually Christians, so maybe figure that out.
Now we're going to move on to the Denver International Airport, DIA. This airport is the largest in America and one of the biggest in the world. Here's an aerial view of the land, and just this little part right here is the main building that travelers go through. Let's check it out on Google Earth to get a better perspective. So now we are right above the land, and I'll show you around a little. This is what I'm talking about. Just this right here is where you go to get in. This is the funky roof that we see in pictures. Surrounding the white building are parking garages, and then outdoor parking on both sides as well. It's just huge, and after you get in, go through security, you go down underground to get on a train, at which point you're taken to one of the 3 concourses, which are the...
Yeah, that's the thing at the Detroit airport, too, although not their train. Their train is above ground, but they do have an underground tunnel that takes you from one area of the airport to another.
These buildings here. Down here is where you enter from Pena Boulevard, and this is also where you find the demonic-looking blue Mustang. The creator of the
Lucifer is the name of it.
statue, Luis Jimenez, was killed when a section of it fell on him at his studio. So yeah, really big place with lots of land, and it's reported that the project went $2 billion over budget, making it easy to understand that there really is much more to this airport than the public gets to see. I fully believe that it's a deep underground military base, and it's also multi-purpose. It can serve as anything from a FEMA-type concentration camp to a fallout refuge for the financial elite ruling class. So now we will make our way inside, where we'll be greeted by spooky gargoyles in suitcases.
Ooh,
What's up?
It's almost like it's art designed for an airport. Ooh.
Spooky gargoyles in suitcases.
Oh, isn't this the one that you can talk to sometimes and they have someone with a microphone somewhere hidden?
I want to eat your soul.
Oh snap, let's go look at the murals. So I'm sure most of you are familiar with this, as it's been a very popular conspiracy for years now. So I'll breeze through the rest of this
Nothing scares conspiracy theorists more than art they don't understand.
segment. We have the 4 murals, and they go in this order: hardcore military oppression, police state; total destruction and the death of race and religion; coming together for a new world order; and finally living in peace and harmony under a one world government and one world religion.
Nothing about it says a one world government or one world religion. They're literally killing a fascist.
Portion of DIA.
That's it. It just says they're killing an authoritarian and then they live in peace. What are you talking about?
It's called the Great Hall and is named after a room found in Freemason lodges. Within the Great Hall is a Freemasonic capstone with the time capsule underneath, not to be opened until 2094. Take note that towards the bottom it says New World Airport Commission. The weird thing is that there is no record of this commission's existence. This whole place is a Freemasonic shrine, and there's even a statue of an astronaut, Jack Swigert, at Concourse B, constantly
I'm assuming he's from Colorado.
reinforcing the hoax that is space travel.
Oh, he was a congressman too.
Let's head over to America2050.org, and we could look at the future mega regions, or megacities. Just like Megacity 1 on Judge Dredd. There will be 11 megaregions, including one that will consist of Colorado Springs, Denver, Santa Fe, and Albuquerque. This will be accompanied by the Trans-American Passenger Network, which will connect all the
Oh, I wish.
megacities.
This guy is way more optimistic about any civil engineering projects than I am. Holy shit.
Now, what I find interesting about this is that if you look at what's called the possible Yellowstone supervolcano eruption
As we all know, nothing scarier than trains.
map, it almost seems to correlate with the future megacities. We could overlay this map over the other, and it's a perfect match. It doesn't seem like a coincidence, but I hope this doesn't happen.
That's just where fewer people live. The mega city whatever things are just put in major metropolitan areas with the highest population. Yellowstone doesn't have as many populations around it, so it's not part of this map.
And I am speculating. So my point is that Colorado is still there, even though it seems off because it's really the only mega region in the center of the map.
It's just another one of those maps where it's basically a population density map. Those are my favorite kinds of maps.
Let's check out the Hunger Games map from the movie franchise.
Sure.
Now, do you see where the capital is? A lot of that is Colorado. Not all of it, but still. Also in the movie
Close enough.
Hunger Games,
Doesn't need to be precise for some reason.
the Resistance is headquartered in an old military facility built beneath a mountain and is capable of launching missiles.
The animatronic gargoyle is named Greg. That's a good name for a gargoyle.
Nod to NORAD, which is the North American Aerospace Defense Command,
Oh, predictive programming on the bingo card. Thank you, Densetsu.
located in Colorado Springs, inside of Cheyenne Mountain. NORAD is featured in movies like War Games from 1983, the Terminator franchise, and Interstellar, which used NORAD's mountain bunker as the headquarters for the new NASA.
Pretty sure Stargate uses it too.
Nassholes, I call them.
Also in Colorado, we have NIST, the National Institute of Standards and Technology. It's located in Boulder, and they are the people that put out the official story on 9/11, which we know is completely bogus. So right off the bat,
9/11 out of nowhere on the bingo card.
we know there's something up here. Over the years, there's been a lot of speculation regarding this place, including that they work on hologram technology and voice of God technology, which is the technology that uses certain frequencies to direct voices straight into your head. Both technologies would be used in a Project Bluebeam scenario.
Oh no, don't talk about this.
On July 20th, 2012, just 4 or 5 months before
Oh my god, that was 13 years ago.
the Sandy Hook hoax took place, we had
Oh, fuck you too.
the Dark Knight Aurora shootings with James Holmes. I don't know if anyone was injured or not, but it was completely staged, and it couldn't have
It was not. People died. Fuck you.
been more obvious. The alleged shooter, James Holmes, was involved in mind-altering neuroscience research, like behavioral programming, basically. And that's exactly what appeared to happen to him. Some sort of MK Ultra Manchurian candidate
MK Ultra on the bingo card.
type stuff. They say he went on a killing spree inside the theater where Dark Knight was playing, dressed as the Joker. If you go back and listen,
He wasn't dressed as the Joker. That entire report came from one officer saying that because he had dyed hair. His hair was dyed orange. He was not dressed as the Joker.
to interviews, the stories were inconsistent and many people said there were 2 gunmen. And then James Holmes is in court the next day looking like a hypnotized zombie, triggered mind control slave.
You think he might be a little stressed out? He just killed people and he's gonna go to jail for the rest of his life. Pretty stressful situation. I don't know how you expect people to act in that way. There's no way he got any sleep either.
And the messed up thing is that guy could be an actor for all we know. But I lean towards him just being thrown under the bus. I don't know.
If it was fake, why did they have to use an MK Ultra to control someone? Yeah, that doesn't make a lot of sense, does it?
But what's really telling
They
is
just gotta throw in as many conspiracies as they possibly can.
that Lil Wayne came out with a music video 3 days before the shooting called Still Homies, and the video took place in a movie theater with 12 skeletons scattered throughout the seats. And that's exactly how many people that were claimed to have been murdered in the Dark Knight Massacre.
Jesus. There are more than 12 skeletons, but in the main scenes there are 12. Really fudging it, huh? We'll call that rounding error numerology. It's not quite numerology, but it fits closest. I want that to be a bingo space, because that's ridiculous. Weren't even accurate about your own statement. Is that it? You done?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, in search of truth, this is ODD, and that's why I believe the state I live in might be the New World Order headquarters. Thanks for watching.
Be sure to subscribe and don't forget to check out other videos right here on ODD TV.
Jesus. Let's see what's next. Since the weather's been so bad, let's talk about HARP. Oh, I didn't recognize the background music.
Many of you, right now, believe that there is something wrong with what is going on around us, and you suspect that it is not natural. You suspect foul play. You see, people are supposed to use discernment to divide fact and fiction, but yet they turn around and use their imaginations to bring them
HARP on the bingo card or weather control.
together. And so now, because of all these theories, they are certain, they are sure these things are being caused by neither God nor nature, but man. See, I do not have all the answers and I am not always right, But I do know that ever since Haiti was hit with that earthquake back in 2010, every time something bad...
Does he think an earthquake is the weather? An earthquake isn't an atmospheric phenomena. It isn't the weather. That's geology. That's a tectonic plates issue. That's an entirely different thing.
That happens.
Do some people just think that anything that happens in the environment is weather? Oh, God.
Every time there's some bad weather, people turn their heads and...
No, wait. I can't get off this. You think earthquakes are weather events? Oh, God.
Look at things like HARP. They do. The High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program. People think that they can modify the weather, and they are right, they can. They can do it, but are they doing it? Well, we're going to take a closer look at this, because this is out of control, and I'm not talking about the weather. No, I'm talking about beliefs held with strong conviction, manifested out of misunderstanding, victims of a great deception.
Wait, the music was a slowed down backing track of Soulja Boy's Crank That? I didn't notice that.
People fear what they do not understand. But when people come to a better understanding, that fear begins to disintegrate. Now, HARP, like CERN and Frankenstein, is one of those things that probably should not have been created. Like CERN, HARP is the result of Nikola Tesla's technology. Now,
I don't know if that's the message of Frankenstein. I guess there is like that you shouldn't meddle thing, but like the book Frankenstein, and a lot of it's about the fact that he abandoned his creation, and his creation came back seeking, I don't know if revenge is the right word, but certainly he wants something in return. He asks the doctor to create a bride for him so he isn't so utterly alone, and then when the doctor refuses to do that, the monster does his own retribution. I don't know if it's just don't create the thing. A lot of it was that he, like, abandoned the thing that he created. I don't mean to get into, like, a literary analysis thing, but...
If you didn't know, Tesla was known for having visions of his designs, and it is said that those visions came from the other side.
The other side of what? Who says that?
So let me take you back. In 1884, Tesla sailed to New York City, where he went to work for Thomas Edison. He offered Tesla a great deal of money to improve upon the designs of his direct current, or DC motors. And Tesla did just that. But Edison stiffed him, so Tesla quit. He then went to work for the...
No, that's not AI. This video's too old to be AI.
Western Union Company, developing AC or
Hey, Nemesaur, welcome back.
alternating current power systems. The motors I built there, Tesla said, were exactly
How was your painting class?
as I imagined them. I made no attempt
Yeah, Edison stole the work of other people.
to improve the design, but merely reproduced the pictures as they appeared to my vision. And the operation was always as I expected. Now, after Tesla was able to develop his Tesla coils, he wanted to work on his ideas for wireless transmission, and so he hooked up with J.P. Morgan, who would put up the money to build Wardenclyffe Tower in 1901. A giant transmission tower based on Tesla's idea of a wireless planet. As soon as completed, it would be possible for a businessman in New York to dictate instructions and have them instantly appear and type at his office in London or elsewhere. He will be able to call up from his desk and talk to any telephone subscriber on the globe, without any change whatever in the existing equipment. An inexpensive instrument, not bigger than a watch, will enable its bearer to hear anywhere on sea or land. music, or song. The speech of a political leader. The address of an eminent man of science.
Oh boy, you're really overestimating what people are gonna do with widespread communication.
Or the sermon.
Hint, they're not gonna use it to enrich themselves.
Of an eloquent clergyman, delivered in some other place, however distant. In the same manner.
We could talk about the pigeons, damn it! The man loved pigeons, okay?
Picture, character.
There's nothing wrong with that, except everything that's wrong with that.
Drawing or print can be transferred from one to another place. Millions of such instruments can be operated from but one plant of this kind. Now let's fast forward to around the early 1990s. The Atlantic Richfield Company, or ARCO, an American oil company, needed to sell gas out of Alaska. And so they financed the project concept of Bernard Eastlund, an American physicist and patent author, who would create 23 U.S. patents, one of those patents being based on the work of Tesla.
It was one pigeon. He loved that bird like a man loves a woman. Okay, he wasn't a pigeon slut. He was in pigeon monogamy, but nonetheless, that's still not right.
A 40 square mile radio transmitter that used Alaskan natural gas to power its generators. And so the U.S. Air Force and Navy got together with the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, or DARPA, BAE Advanced
Did I see the tribe that got addicted to porn when given the internet? No.
Technologies.
That's a lot of stuff to give people. Just if you didn't have access to like anything like that, and then immediately you have access to all of the porn in the world. Oh, that's a yikes. That's not good. Anyone want to maybe block the porn from their internet? That might be good.
And the University of Alaska Fairbanks to give birth to HARP. Now that right there tells you that HARP was in fact intended for military defense and research purposes. They wanted to develop advanced defense and weapons technologies. That's just what the military does. That's what they are supposed to do. Make weapons.
Wasn't HARP meant to predict weather? They were studying weather. It wasn't meant to control it. Obviously, being able to precisely predict the weather would be pretty important in military operations because the conditions that you're going into change a lot about the logistics of what you need to do on any given operation.
Weapons protect the borders. But even before HARP's completion in 1994 and after, they have been under pressure from environmentalist and conservation organizations from every angle.
This is not an environmentalist group. This is a conspiracy group that's afraid about chemtrails. That's not environmentalism. That's crackpot nonsense. Please don't confuse the two.
With concerns about
auroras, not weather. Okay, thank you.
The safety of the program. Because back then and even now, the scientists there have admitted that they do not fully understand the consequences to using such technology. And so their logic was, well, if we want to find out the impact this will have on the planet.
Harold Edelman says, absolutely. If I say Agincourt, do you get how that's relevant? No.
We are going to need to experiment on the planet. Now, HARP.
It was the effects of auroral activity on communications, early warning systems. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
Of course, is just the name of the program. The machine that everyone is familiar with is known as the IRI, the Ionospheric Research Instrument, which is detailed in HARP's Environmental Impact Statement. An excerpt of this can be easily found on the University of Alaska Fairbanks Geophysical Institute website. The IRI consists of 180 cross-dipole antennas, arranged in a grid pattern of 12 rows and 15 columns, with all the low-frequency antennas stacked above all the high-frequency antennas. Each antenna is supported by a 66-foot mast mounted on a 4-foot steel base, with a distance of 80 feet between each antenna.
Just a Peach says, reminder, they're closed down.
The entire...
Oh, that's not going to stop these people. They'll just say that's what they want you to think.
IRI antenna field, including the perimeter fencing, occupies 35 acres of land. Now, the low frequency antennas transmits 3.2 megawatts of energy in a frequency range of 2.8 to 7.6 megahertz. The high frequency antennas also transmit 3.2 megawatts of energy, but in a frequency range of 7.3 to 10 megahertz. And what they do is they focus these transmissions into the ionosphere, heating it up. It's like using a microwave oven with no door, so all that energy is directed out to wherever you point the microwave. At the same time, they can use the high concentration of ions and free electrons in the ionosphere to reflect radio waves. So what happens
And you think you can affect the weather with radio waves? Why?
is they create these virtual reflectors or mirrors in the ionosphere.
At the Battle of At the Battle of Agincourt, the French heavy cavalry got stuck in the mud while it was raining arrows, basically. Yeah, weather makes a difference.
To basically send these transmissions to anywhere on the planet. When they do this, it gives them several
At least this person believes we live on a planet. The bar's really low.
capabilities. They can take these radio waves, aim them at the ground, and then read the frequencies that bounce back, a kind of ultrasound. It can tell them what elements are in the ground as well as if there are any tunnels or hidden missile silos. Ground-penetrating radar that can see animals, birds, and groups of insects even. They can use the charging of the ionosphere to act as a global shield. And the idea is, if a missile were launched and it entered the section of the ionosphere that was charged, the intensity of the energy would cause the missile to explode midair. They can even detect stealth aircraft, that which of course is not visible by normal radar, but by HARP technology. Pretty cool, right? Well, they also discovered that they could manipulate weather. They could push storm systems in certain directions.
Yeah, wait, you're right. ODD TV does think we live on a flat Earth. Most of his videos are flat Earth related. Oh, this is an ODD TV. That's why. This is Woodward TV. This isn't ODD. We watched an ODD video earlier. I think you're confused with that, which confused me.
They could excite a storm system and place that over the enemy to cripple them. They can send lightning. With enough power, they can even pump these transmissions into the ground, creating such violent vibrations that they cause earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. Which brings us to what's happening today. Folks, we are facing back-to-back hurricanes. Harvey, Irma, Jose is making its way up the East Coast, and now Maria is headed for the islands. We've got this nut over in North Korea, a country smaller than New York State, completely surrounded by opposition, pushing buttons threatening people. Threatening the very same people who own and operate these HARP-like machines. So why don't they use these machines on this guy? Well, maybe they have.
What?
They did deploy the Navy's SBX-1 mobile sea-based radar weather weapon back in 2013 near North Korea. So maybe this is why they seem
I'm going to assume that's for weather research. Again, it's not a weapon.
to not be too overly concerned about what this madman can do. Now the question on everyone's mind lately is HARP the cause of all the strange and devastating weather phenomena? Well, the military did leave HARP under the operation of the universities back in 2015, so that scientists could still use HARP for research purposes on a pay-per-use basis, which is about $5,000 per use. In fact, they do now allow the public to visit the facility during its open houses. So, whatever the military or government was using HARP for in the past, I do not think they are using it for that purpose now. They have most likely moved on to a similar technology that is more advanced, somewhere else. I mean, they first started running HARP over 20 years ago, and today this type of technology, folks, is found in different forms all around the globe. You cannot pin everything on HARP. That would be foolish.
just the most interesting weather events, obviously.
But like I said, I put nothing past the government. But at the same time, I am more inclined to believe that what's happening is ultimately the work of external forces. I'm talking about the sun and everything out there in space. We've recently had several very large solar flares, those photon
Do you think solar flares are causing hurricanes?
hit us. One of these flares was followed by the 8.2 earthquake that hit Mexico recently.
Oh my god, it's worse. He thinks that solar flares are creating earthquakes. How would that happen? How would it interact with the plates? Why would it do that?
We are always overdue for every major cataclysm, and every year there is record-breaking volcanism, earthquakes, and bad weather. The Earth has been doing this for years now, and we are not living on the only celestial body that has been going through these changes. And as far as I know, they don't have a harp on Mars, or on the moon, or anywhere else in space for that matter. The only other thing that I think could possibly harness this technology is, of course, orbiting satellites. Know and understand, folks, that every time they fire a rocket into space, every time they launch a satellite or use a satellite, every time they transmit to the ISS, every time they fire up HARP and CERN, they punch holes in the layers of our atmosphere, and Earth has to accommodate for that. It has to fill in these holes, these pockets, with something. So yes, human beings and madmen are part of the problem, but I do not think that they are all of the problem. You see, there are many God-fearing people who do not believe that God is at all responsible.
Oh lord.
For
Look
what's
at the picture he picked, a bunch of fucking cops.
And they do not believe he would send
Oh, maybe they're wildlife people.
hurricane to
Wildlife protection? I'm not sure.
ruin lives.
The truck says wildlife.
But did you know that many of these hurricane
No,
victims
they have guns. They're cops.
believe in God now more than they ever did? More and more people are now turning to him as a result of these happenings. And the Holy Scriptures do state that these things would occur. It just does not state how, only that they will. The point of all this, folks, is do not focus all of your attention on HARP and what the government is doing, because honestly, I believe they know what's coming, and they just want to hide and protect themselves from it, which is probably why they want to control the elements so bad. And so they are willing to allow everyone to worry about HARP, while the real threat is closing in on them. So, when I see everyone looking in one direction, folks, I tend to turn in the other direction to see what's coming from behind.
Jesus Christ. Let's try this one.
Folks, fasten your seatbelts, because things are about to get weird. We truly live in a world with crazy people. And this
You don't say.
story, well, you're not going to believe this one.
I believe that I won't believe it.
Now, we all know that there is no such thing as fairies. There are no tiny, half-naked women with nice bodies flying around tending to the forest.
Why you want to, why why nice looking bodies specifically? Is this just a video to Sata's fetish? What are we doing? You don't fuck the fairies. Don't fuck the fairies.
We know this. But like I always say, truth is stranger than fiction.
If you want Tinkerbell to live, clap them cheeks and say, I do believe in fairies! Gothgeek Gaming says, don't know how much of this you can play, but I need it for my joke. The guy said he looked... Oh, wait. Sorry, one sec. The guy said he looks at or in one direction, and then it's a One Direction music video, I think, which I cannot play a single second of this. But that's the punchline.
If a creature like this did exist on our planet, then I can assure you that it wouldn't be the least bit sexy or nice or sprinkling magic fairy.
Why is he under the impression that everyone wants to fuck fairies? Because he very much is like, these are not sexy fairies. And it's like, I don't think you needed to qualify that. What are you talking about?
Fairy dust everywhere.
He is just projecting his attraction to fairies onto everyone. Okay.
It would probably try to bite, sting, and stalk your ass. Yes, I'm talking about a fairy from hell. Now, right now, you can go on the internet and find dozens of photos and videos of all types of small, weird-looking creatures. Some of them are hoax, some photoshopped, some pieced together with parts from different animals. And then there's the small percentage that cannot be explained. In other words, the creature is or was a real creature. However, the examiners cannot explain the creature. Now, there's been a discovery of yet another tiny corpse, a dead body, 9 inches tall, humanoid, with wings. What makes this corpse interesting is not that it was x-rayed to reveal a complete skeleton, but that it was allegedly shot down with buckshot. As the story goes, it was found lying along the side of a road in Mexico by a young boy just minutes after it had been shot. Whoever shot it took off, and for good reason. I mean, this thing has a human-like face with sharp teeth and a tail with a stinger. Now, I would have
Do you just have to make any photo blurry enough and conspiracy theorists will believe it? What's the aesthetic that sells this to them?
just ruled this thing out as just totally unbelievable? Then I was reminded of a scripture in the Bible. And out of the smoke, locusts came forth upon the earth, and authority was given them. The same authority, no vegetation of the earth, nor any green thing, nor any tree, but only those men who do not have the seal of God on their foreheads. And it was granted to the locusts not to kill them, but that these should be tormented 5 months, and the torment upon them was a torment by a scorpion when it strikes a man. And in those days the men will seek death, but will by no means find it, and they will desire to die, but death keeps fleeing from them. And the likeness of the locusts resembled horses prepared for
Gothgeek Gaming says Tinkerbell legit tried to kill Wendy because Tink had the hots for Peter. Don't fuck with the Fae, they'll murder you.
battle.
They will, they're tricky.
And upon their heads were what seemed to be crowns like gold, and their faces were as men's faces. But they had hair as women's hair, and their teeth were as those of lions. And they had breastplates like iron breastplates, and the sounds of their wings was as the sound of chariots of many horses running into battle. Also,
Bible question, does the seal of God tell you it's not the mark of the beast? Just asking, those are separate things.
they have tails and stings like scorpions. And in their tails is their authority to hurt the men 5 months. They have over them a king.
You did miss CC serving sass. This video's actually in 2 parts, so if you watch the VOD on YouTube, there'll be a part 1 and a part 2 because I had to stop because the internet cut out.
The angel of the abyss.
Chris is in part 1, is what I'm
In
saying.
Hebrew, his name is Abaddon. But in Greek, his name, Apollyon. Now, I truly hope John was speaking figuratively. The last thing we need is a bunch of little flying monster killer fairies going around paralyzing people and then slowly eat them alive.
That's oddly specific.
That would not be cool.
Is this his fetish thing again? Does he want to be paralyzed and eaten by fairies?
Go get your fly swatters, baseball bats, and frying pans ready. By now, everyone should know that people find all types of weird creatures washed up on shore, in the woods, and caves.
Sir, No.
They find big skeletons, they find tiny skeletons, they find Mothmen, ape men, giant men, fish men, alien bodies. They have footage of aliens, Bigfoot, Loch Ness monsters, ghosts, vampires, dwarves, leprechauns,
Vampires on the bingo card.
goblins. Folks, the point is this.
Is there a single fictional creature he doesn't believe in?
This story about this fairy creature would be laughed at, discredited, and disregarded. My question is this. Is it possible that there is some truth in these photos and footage mixed in with all of the science fiction and mythology? And should we always just dismiss something like this for being fake? Or should we say, wait a minute, let me take a closer look at this? You can believe whatever you want, folks. I don't care if things like this exist or not.
Because they're not sexy enough.
At the end of the day, it's probably no more dangerous than the bee that can sting you, the spider that can bite you, the tiger that can eat you, and the man that can shoot you.
That's how you're ending this? Who's the real monsters? Lame. Okay.
I'm sure many are aware of the latest headlines regarding Russell Brand. Obviously in the club, this is the most obvious club member of them all when it comes to the so-called truth speakers. Here you see Russell Brand, of course, with the 33 tattooed on his wrist. And he also had a live tour titled 33. And now
Craftgeek Gaming says, is there a single thing he doesn't believe in? Gozer the Gozerian, the Stay Puffed Marshmallow Man, and Vigo the Carpathian? Especially Vigo. I like Vigo.
obviously we know the law of reversal with live and what it stands for. Basically the new evil show. And what it all comes down to is the interview that Russell Brand had with Bill Maher.
Oh God, Russell Brand and Bill Maher. That would not be a conversation I'd like to listen to.
And it was over the top.
Smarmy overload.
That's been all over the media the last 3 years. And he's playing the role of the truth speaker here. Again, this is just
Gematria or numerology for 33? Neither. That's actually Freemasons. 33 is a symbol for Freemasons. So Freemasons Cabal on the bingo card.
It's a pantomime. It's just stagecraft. And from this one particular interview from several months back, it leads to this. A very common occurrence when it comes to male celebrities with the women coming forward. This is nothing new. Same old tricks being played once again.
What?
Getting back to Russell Brand. Anybody that believes this guy's a real truth speaker, give me a break. He's a Hollywood plant, obviously a trained actor playing a role on the world stage. Here you see him married to Katy Perry at the time. No doubt a arranged marriage just for show, just for a big distraction. And of course, Katy Perry, one of the biggest names in music. And here you see the all-seeing eye for all to see. No pun intended. Here you see
That's
Russell Brand.
It's not the all-seeing eye. It's not in a pyramid. That's just an eye.
And with Queen 33, Queen Elizabeth, as you see here. And look at the very Masonic handshake. And when I mentioned Freemasonry in Queen...
Is that Tracy Turnblatt from Hairspray?
33, I showed
What?
this in a previous video with the Queen herself. And as you see here, the nurse and the belt buckle, the red and blue for purple for royalty and witchcraft. And again, the square and the compass and the pentagram, which is the pole star on top of the square and compass. And again, Queen 33, literally with Queen Elizabeth being again Queen 33.
Now this is Gematria. Gematria on the bingo card.
And that gets into more players in the world stage. Here you see Russell Brand with Alex Jones from many years ago. This is the clip I played in the video itself. And again, two big
Jay's a proxy. Can I see your bingo card?
time players in the world stage as far as controlled opposition when it comes to truth. Make no mistake about it. Here you see Alex Jones, a.k.a. Bill Hicks.
Let's take a look real quick at this bingo card. Gematria, mountain was a giant tree, free space, flat earth, and psyop. That's a big winner, Jay's a proxy. I will write down your name. Let me know what you want to do with it, if you want it for yourself later or to gift it randomly.
You see the 666 hand sign InfoWars as well.
So that's our official bingo winner of the day, by the way. So we'll keep playing for fun, but that is the official winner.
Alex Jones being...
Oh yeah, he's one of the Alex Jones's Bill Hicks guys.
33.
Pretty much every conspiracy theorist is.
And InfoWars,
it's a very common one.
As you see in the bottom right-hand corner, being 33 as well. And it comes down to Freemasonry and the Grand Sovereign Commander in the dual 33. And of course, as I've covered, for well over a decade, Alex Jones is Bill Hicks. Make no mistake about it. Here you see them side by side. Bill Hicks and Alex Jones. These two men are identical.
Like, I don't understand why they think it's impossible for multiple people to look similar. They just look similar. It's fine. He's not the same guy. They're completely different.
Take a look here at Bill Hicks being covered on CNN. This is absolutely 100% the present-day Alex Jones. If you can't
It really isn't, and they have similarities, but they don't look identical.
see it,
not even close to identical.
You do not have eyes to see. This is absolutely Alex Jones of today. Of course, the little cosmetic surgery to alter his appearance, his voice.
Well, then anyone can just be anyone. If we're just saying it's surgery, then anyone can be anyone with a good enough surgeon.
They easily change as an actor. Again, these two are the same. The reason I'm pointing this out, the importance of understanding the world stage and how it's structured, and how trusted individuals that play one role continue to play another. Again, it's all about having controlled individuals that are trusted. Masons are all about keeping secrets, so make no mistake about it. You see here, where they talk through signs and symbols. Again, make no mistake about it. Now back on topic with Russell Brand. Listen to him try to talk his way out of being part of the club. Absolutely ridiculous. Take a listen here at his very feeble attempt to dismiss his connection with those in the Masonic Club, which he calls the Illuminati. Let's take a look.
So that would mean things like telling people, hey, everything's fine in the world, everything's great. And then you go, yeah, but you would do that because you're like controlled opposition. It's like, well, as Neil deGrasse Tyson once said, is there anything that I could say that would make you believe, for example, that, you know, America did land on the moon or that the Earth is round? And if the person he's arguing with says, no, there's nothing you could say, he said, well, there's no point in having a conversation then, is there? Because when I spoke to him, I goes, do you think that the Americans really went to the moon? He goes, man, there's a whole, like, you can go to Cape Canaveral and there's all these, like, boxes of and files of complicated mathematical equations. It just would be such a mad thing.
Absolutely ridiculous. He talks about flat Earth. Obviously, the flat Earth truth is real. It's legit. And this is just another gatekeeper trying
to... So the problem is he's not a big enough conspiracy theorist, so he must be controlled opposition. Controlled opposition on the bingo card.
The truth. And he also mentions Neil deGrasse Tyson in the so-called moon landing. And the evidence is the files, so-called files, in math equations. Math equations...
So-called files. They're just files.
Do not equal truth. It's what can be proven in the real world. And obviously, this is just a gatekeeper at work. Let's continue.
If they didn't, or if the Earth is flat, what's the benefit of that theory?
The benefit for the theory is to hide God.
I've said this before. Terrible plan, then. Most people believe in God. Peep Lord says he needs to prove his plastic surgery idea. We need to take the original and fake. We'll have a nationwide poll and a surgery face-off. Face-off. I'll take surgery. Let's go.
Big Bang explosion removes God from the equation, and that's the whole foundation of this world. This world-life system is obviously, again, to remove God. And when the foundation is off, everything else is off.
Now, for example, someone having a 33 tattoo on their arm, like what's the benefit of that? If you are actually a part of a sort of a secret controlling reality, do you have to mask that fact? And
no, they put the truth in plain sight. And obviously this gatekeeper, he's doing the typical gatekeeping work, trying to obfuscate and trying to dismiss the truth that he's part of the club.
Oh, yeah, but yeah, you would do that. Oh, so it's that many layers of double bluff. I mean, like, for me, that's like, what? And all of a sudden, what are we talking about now?
Now he gets into the tattoos, and this is huge to me, where he points out the 33, and then he points out these other deities besides Jesus Christ. So he has multiple deities tattooed on him, and let's get right to it.
Anyway, so that tattoo is because I love the Lord Jesus Christ, and it's a sort of a lucky number, basically, because I thought I was going to die when I was 32. Then I obviously didn't, as you can see. And so now I love the number 33, and when I see it, I feel like I'm on the right path.
Isn't it crazy that if he did die at 32, like, he'd be remembered as, like, that weird, funny guy from Forgetting Sarah Marshall instead of this?
33. For those that are new to my channel, this is what it's really about. It's from Revelation 12, verses 3 through 9. It represents a third of the fallen angels or stars, which are interchangeable. Fallen angels, stars are one and the same. I have a video series on this. It's called Polaris' Lucifer. I explain it all in detail.
Apparently we need to watch that at some point.
Let's get back to Russell Brand.
It's a wild quote.
Polaris is Satan.
Lord Krishna, the master of all realities and non-realities and potential realities, the world of dark matter that makes up 80 or 90% of the reality that we even understand right now. Lord Ganesh, remover of obstacles. The Kundalini serpent, awaken the lower survivor.
So he's pointing out all the different deities. And one thing that needs to be made clear is to join a Masonic Lodge, you must believe in a deity. It doesn't matter which one, as long as you believe in a deity. But of course, Russell Brand has multiple deities tattooed on him, like I mentioned earlier.
This is Durga, a goddess of power, fighting for divine femininity.
And you can see, let me just back up here just a little bit, and you can see the third eye sideways here. So again,
you never liked him? That's fair. I liked him in Forgetting Sarah Marshall because I was a lot younger. I find him annoying now, especially given what we know about him. I can't really watch Forgetting Sarah Marshall anymore because it also has Mila Kunis in it, who, like, defended the other guy from that 70s show who got the rape convictions, I think. Something Masterson. I forget his name. Peep Lord says, similarly, Scott Adams, funny office cartoon man, occasional author, and man we don't know a third fact about.
Third eye, I mentioned this before. Why the third eye? God made us with two eyes. So try to outdo God with a third eye. And this is what it's all about. They love to try
I don't think that's
God,
the intent.
which they can't.
A goddess of power, fighting for divine femininity with the initial letters of my wife's name and my two daughters' names. This is Jesus Christ, who I love. These are the chakras, the energy centers of the body.
Again, the chakras, everything else he's showing here. You get the point.
Danny Masterson, thank you.
He's showing all the deities here, and he does mention Jesus Christ, but you have televangelists also talking about how they follow Jesus Christ, but this is what deceivers do. Make no mistake about it. And it's painfully obvious that Russell Brand is definitely part of the club.
Yeesh. Reference, do they live on the bingo card? This is a flat earth video that's supposed to cover it in 5 minutes. This will probably be the last video we cover today. Between this and the first part of the stream, we're at almost 2.5 hours, so we're probably going to call it after this.
Water, when unmanipulated, is to find its level. So whether you look at a cup of water, a bathtub, a swimming pool, a lake, or the ocean, it's flat. Of course,
when you look at the Earth from far enough away, you can see the curvature. The curvature occurs over such a long distance, you can't see it at the human scale.
Natural motion is not considered and doesn't equal a curve. We have 0 authentic pictures of the Earth, and they're all composites, and NASA—
They are not all composites, that's literally a lie. Many are composites, which are still representative of what the Earth looks like, they're just stitched together, but there are absolutely photos of the Earth that are not composites that were taken all in one shot.
even admits that
they just call those ones fake because they hurt their case.
Photoshop Earth images.
It is photoshopped, but it's has to be.
On numerous occasions, NASA admits that we can't go beyond low Earth orbit, which is
currently because we don't have any of the technology from the previous missions. Actually, this is of course not true anymore because we're going to the moon again soon. I think sometime in February they have planned a mission to, or is it a moon orbit, or are they just like going around the moon and coming back? It's for the Artemis program.
Between 90.
But at the time that they said that, we didn't really have money going into NASA for any program like this, so we didn't have any capsules or boosters that would allow us to get beyond low Earth orbit at the time.
9 miles and 1,200 miles away. The interesting thing is that the moon is said to be
That's true. Dan Olson did show that water does in fact curve, which he showed on a lake in his Flat Earth video, but it's not easy to see with your naked eye without that camera equipment and a jib. But it is demonstratable at ground level.
238,000 miles away, which is a difference of 236,800 miles. No matter if you're on the ground, on top of a building, a mountain, a hot air balloon, an airplane, or looking at high-altitude amateur balloon footage, the horizon never fails to rise right to your eyes.
Lunar orbit to work out kinks. I hope that mission goes well.
Whether you are looking at Toronto's skyline from Niagara on the lake, 31 miles away.
Wow, look at how the bottoms of those buildings aren't visible. That sure is interesting, isn't it?
Chicago's skyline.
Wow, you can only see the tops of those buildings. Isn't that funny? It's almost like they're hidden behind the curvature of the Earth.
And from Union Pier, 43 miles away. Or even Oahu from Kauai, which is up to 108 miles away from center to center, or 73 miles away from the closest points. You will not see any curvature where it's supposed to be.
You do see curvature because the bottom of it is obscured.
According to
That's curvature.
The Pythagorean theorem, which
I think they're expecting to see curvature like left to right. Again, not understanding how big the Earth is or ignoring it.
It's that the curvature of the Earth is 8 inches per mile squared. Oahu
Incorrect formula.
Should not be visible whatsoever, but you can see the whole thing. In 1887, Albert Michelson and Edward Morley conducted what's known as the Michelson-Morley experiment. This experiment was attempting to prove the speculated motion of the Earth around the Sun, and when it failed, Albert Einstein...
No, they were trying to demonstrate the luminiferous ether, which was disproven. They falsified it.
Einstein was forced to form the theory of relativity to overcome this problem. In fact, anytime mainstream science is faced with undesirable results...
Yeah, he completely and totally misrepresented what that experiment was in order to make a point. This video is just lying a lot.
They create a workaround, which isn't real science at all. The Sun is claimed to be 93 million miles away, with a radius of over 400,000 miles, but can easily be proven to be much closer and smaller by tracing the crepuscular rays back to its origin in the sky.
That's not how things work. Peep Lord says, sorry I haven't seen a lot of streams lately, but did you see this? And how dare you deprive us of our privilege of supporting you through entertainment funding? Let me see what it is. Hundreds gather in Glasgow to watch full force kick in the balls. I did see this. Someone was getting an orchiectomy, and they decided they were going to have a big public showing before their orchiectomy where they'd get kicked in the balls. Publicly. One last time. Which is an interesting choice. Not something I would have wanted to do before my orchiectomy, but more power to her.
If the Sun were indeed 93 million miles away, it would simply be impossible to have angled sun rays, as they should all consistently come in straight.
The atmosphere can bend rays of light. And in fact, it does.
According to the globular theory, a lunar eclipse occurs when the Sun, Earth, and Moon are in a direct line. But it is on record that since about the 15th century, over 50 eclipses have occurred while both the Sun and Moon are visible above the horizon. F.H. Cook, The Terrestrial Plane. It's a common misconception that the shadow of the Earth causes moon phases. Even the pastors and priests of the science religion readily admit this fact. The interesting thing about moon phases is that they are always the exact same 8 phases repeated. But if we were circling around the Sun, these 8 phases would inevitably be reversed from the summer to winter seasons.
Why? I don't understand why he thinks that.
I completely understand that the idea...
He just said it like it's a fact, but he didn't explain why he thinks that.
The idea of a flattened stationary Earth seems ridiculous in many ways. But that's only because we are taught the false globe model from the very first time that we enter a school classroom. Not to mention the first time we are introduced to the concept of a flat Earth. It's depicted as a highly laughable world where ships, boats, and water would run off of the edge. So I do get it, but it's all part of the deception. I've spent 30 years of my life believing that we were on a spinning globe. It wasn't until I unbiasedly and scientifically investigated the flat Earth claims.
By scientifically means he watched a lot of YouTube videos. That's real science. We're doing science right here, chat. Science is when you watch YouTube videos from random assholes on the internet. It's me. I'm the random asshole.
That I started to realize that there is more to this theory than I originally gave it credit for. Now, after almost 2 years of research, I'm certain that the Earth is flat. We are told that the Earth spins at 1,040 miles per hour, while the Earth travels around the Sun at 66,000 miles per hour. Meanwhile, the whole solar system is going inside the Milky Way galaxy at a speed of 490,000 miles per hour. And finally, the entire Milky Way galaxy is darting through infinite space at over 1 million miles per hour.
Do multiple vectors just confuse the fuck out of you so you assume it can't be real? Multiple vectors can be going on at any given time. Motion is relative. There's a lot of things out there we're moving relative to.
Most people believe this, and yet every experiment ever conducted to prove even the simple spin of the Earth has failed.
Yeah, that's objectively not true. Even flat earthers have done experiments that prove the turn of the Earth. Remember Bob Nodell? He bought the laser gyroscope, and he definitively showed that there was a 15 degree per hour spin of the Earth.
The same thing goes for curvature. It's never been proven, and the only time we see
it has. We literally have photos from space.
It is in movies, NASA CGI, or when we're looking through a distorted fisheye lens. With all that said, please continue to research critically and don't be afraid to ask reasonable questions and speak out.
All right. So, let's see who we're going to raid. That's it for today. I will be back tomorrow. Hopefully we'll have fewer internet issues tomorrow. I'll reset the internet before stream tomorrow too, just in case. Harold Elbelman with 35 stream streak says, my left hand, right hand, and feet are all moving in different directions. I guess I'm impossible. Holy shit, my streak got preserved. That's awesome. Peep Lord says, man who doesn't understand general relativity proves he's relatively special. We'll raid Tina. Alright, I hope everyone has a great night. I'm very hungry. I've not been eating well. I, fun fact, have lost way too much weight in the last week and a half, a very unhealthy amount. So I need to eat some food, probably. I've lost like 10 pounds in a week and a half. I've not been eating, so I'm gonna go eat. Have a great night, everyone. I will see you later, and, stay cool. See you tomorrow.